Today in this video, I will reveal the true events of another movie, and the name of that movie is the Amityville Horror. I will request you to watch this video till the end, because at the end of this video, I will reveal some such secrets which will be totally new and shocking for all of you. Amityville Horror movie is based on a novel, which was published by American author J. Anderson in September 1977. The first movie of Amityville series was released in 1979, and after that many more parts of this movie have been released. This book is based on real-life paranormal activities, which the Lutz family experienced in their life, and many questions have also been raised about the truth of these incidents. This story begins on 18 December 1975, when the Lutz family buys a house in Amityville, which cost them $80,000. George and Kathy Lutz liked this house very much because this house had 5 bedrooms, and it was built in Dutch colonial style, and this house was very big for such a low price. But exactly 13 months ago, a very shocking incident had happened in this house. Before the family came, the DeFeo family lived in this house. Apart from the parents, there were 5 children. On the night of the 13th of November 1974, Ronald DeFeo comes running to his friend Harry, and he says that someone has shot his entire family, including his parents. Harry immediately informs the police about this, and when the police reaches this house, they find 6 dead bodies there. These bodies were of Ronald DeFeo's parents and his siblings. Ronald says that he was not at home during these incidents, and when he returned, this mass murder had already happened. During the police investigation, they find a .135 model rifle in Ronald's room, and the police's suspicion falls directly on Ronald. After some questioning and interrogation, Ronald confesses that he himself killed his parents and 2 brothers and sisters. During the trials in the court, Ronald said that he was hearing some voices in his mind which were telling him to kill everyone. Ronald's lawyer tried to fight this case on this matter so that Ronald could be declared insane, so that he would not have to go to jail. But according to the judge's decision, Ronald was sentenced to life imprisonment. Now all these things were known to the Lutz family, but still they were very happy to buy this big house at such a low price, and they decided that before shifting to this house, they will get this house blessed by the Catholic priest living in the nearby church. After this, the Lutz family brought all their belongings to this house, and at the time of unpacking, the priest also reached here so that he could pray for the peace and prosperity of this house and the people living here. As soon as this priest went to a room on the first floor of this house, he felt a little cold there. This room used to be the primary bedroom of Mark and John DeFeo. As soon as the priest started sprinkling holy water here, he heard someone shouting loudly. This voice was telling this priest to get out, as if some unknown power did not like this priest being in this room. The priest continued sprinkling holy water, and suddenly some invisible force struck him hard on the cheek. As soon as this happened, the priest immediately left the room, but he did not tell the Lutz family anything about these incidents. He simply said that they should not make the upstairs room their bedroom, and it would be better if the Lutz family used that room as little as possible. The Lutz family agreed to the priest and made the upstairs room a swing room. From the very first night of staying in this house, the family started experiencing some strange sensations. Cold spots were felt at many places in the house, and sometimes a strong smell was also felt. They also saw some green-colored substance accumulating on the walls of the house, and sometimes this substance was also found in the keyholes of the doors. Apart from all this, George always felt cold, and he started spending most of his time near the fireplace. The health conditions of all the people living in the house were also deteriorating, and they were often in an irritable mood. The daughter of the Lutz family was often found talking to someone in her room, and she said that the person she talks to is named Jody, and she is a red-eyed pig. Jody is not visible to anyone, and she can change her form and shape whenever she wants. Apart from all this, Mother Cathals also used to see black spots in the kitchen sink. And she also felt as if sometimes she was being touched by an invisible person. The Lutz family was not able to live comfortably in this house even for a single day, and some mysterious incident was happening with everyone. Then one day, suddenly a huge swarm of flies came in the upstairs swimming room, and it spread throughout the house. The surprising thing here was that it was winter at that time, and flies are not even seen in such extreme cold. Exactly one day after this incident, George woke up at 3:15 in the night, and this was the same time when the DeFeo family was murdered in this house. After this day, George woke up at this time almost every day, and he was always very scared. One night when George woke up at 3:15, he saw that instead of his wife Kathy, a very old woman was lying next to him, and she was laughing at George. George started shouting loudly. As soon as he shouted, the woman disappeared from there and George started seeing his wife again. The very next day of this incident, Kathy started floating in the air above her bed, and the same thing happened with their 2 children. Now the family had lost their patience, and they tried to call the Catholic priest. As soon as they tried to call, their call would get disconnected automatically, and even after many attempts, they could not succeed in calling the priest. Defeated, they decided to fight this unknown power themselves. And George started spreading the holy plier with a cross in his hand. It is said that when George was spreading the holy plier, the sound of someone shouting loudly was coming, who was saying, "Will you please stop?" Apart from this, some other devilish sounds were also coming. And that night was very scary for this family. The next night, all these activities increased even more and everything became unbearable. The doors of the rooms of the house were opening on their own, and the doors of the garage outside were also moving on their own. Along with this, the furniture inside the house was moving from its place on its own, and the children were levitating in the air many times. Strange sounds were coming from all the 4 corners of the house, and there was an atmosphere of panic among all the people of the house. All this happened so much that the Lutz family left that house that very night. They did not even pack their belongings lying in the house. And with just a few essentials, they ran away from this house and stayed at the house of Cathlud's mother, which was near the city of Babylon. The very next day, these things spread like fire, and in a few days, these things reached Warren as well. Warren was considered the best paranormal researcher in the world in those days, and as soon as he got this news, he immediately set out to investigate Amityville House. Warren was accompanied by other people who were the main reporters of Channel 5. Apart from this, a whole team was gathered outside this house which included psychiatrists, investigators, and reporters. Along with this, the people of Lutz's family were also called here. Lutz's family refused to enter this house, but despite this, Warren went inside the house and started his investigation. During this investigation, some unknown power pushed Ed Warren very hard. After getting this push, Ed Warren fell down, and he immediately realized the power of this unknown power. Warren had many visions in which he was able to see many demonic possessions, and in his visions he was also able to see the dead bodies of the DeFeo family. These bodies were covered in white sheets, and like in the ad, Lorraine was also pushed by some unknown power. During these incidents, the research team took a picture in which they also saw the spirit of a small child. This picture which you are seeing now is the same picture which was taken by the research team. When Warren completed his investigation and some research, he had some interesting results. According to him, before the colonial house was built in 1924, there was a cottage at this place, which belonged to a man named John Ketchum. John was an expert in the process of black magic, and after his death, his body was buried in this land. Apart from this land was also once occupied by the Shinnecock Indians, who used to keep mad people or any disturbed person here. Due to this, many deaths also took place on this land. And according to Warren, the history of this place is very dark. Perhaps this was the reason why Ronald DeFeo killed his entire family, because he was under the influence of these negative energies. The Lutz family sold this property at a very low price and moved to California. Now 2 aspects of these incidents come to the fore. First, all the incidents told are true, and that place is really in the grip of negative powers. But the surprising thing here is that Jim and Barbara came to live in this house in 1979, and they did not feel any paranormal events. In fact, they published many pictures in which they were happily living in this house. But after these claims, George and Kathy took a lie detector test, in which they passed the test. This proves that whatever they had told was not a lie, so one family had to face so many paranormal activities in that house, and the other family did not suffer anything. After all, what could be the secret behind this? After a lot of research on this mystery, I found a testimony which was given by Danny Lutz, son of the Lutz family. According to Danny, The paranormal activities in the house have nothing to do with the murder of the DeFeo family, but it is all the fault of his father, George Lutz. George used to tamper with these demonic powers many times in his life using different methods, and he invited some evil spirits in that house. As a result, George could not send these spirits back. And then, many paranormal activities happened. Christopher Correntino, the second son of the Lutz family, agreed with this and said that George was an ungrateful father and used to beat those children on small matters. Danilo is now living his life in Queens, and he says that those incidents have ruined his life. Until date, he has nightmares. So maybe this negative power got attached to this family and not to this house. And this is the reason that the people who came to live in this house later did not feel any unknown power there. In 2017, this house was sold to an undisclosed owner for $605,000. And after the Lutz family, 4 families have lived here, none of whom faced paranormal activities. Kathleen died in 2004, and George Lutz died in 2006. Apart from this, all their children are still alive, and Ronald DeFeo is still serving his life sentence in jail. So my question today to all of you is, what do you think could be the reason for those incidents in this house, and who is the reason behind it? Tell us your answer in the comments section.